Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome back to my channel. I have a Dollar Tree DIY for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful cross wreath. This wreath can be used at Easter or all year long. Let me show you how to make it. Here is a list of the tools and materials I used to complete the project. For your convenience, I've also included a detailed list in the description box below. Let's get started. You'll need one of the cross wreath forms that you can get from Dollar Tree. You will need 4 rolls of white Deco mesh and 2 rolls of light purple. You will also need 1.5 packages of white pipe cleaners. For this wreath, you're going to want to cover the back. Because of the method that we're using, you're going to have a lot of ties all the way up and down the back, so you want to cover it. 1, so that it looks pretty, and 2, so that it doesn't scratch your door or wall. Now I'm going to cover the back with the Crafter Square felt, and this is in white. Before you start attaching anything to your wreath form, you're going to want to trace it out onto some felt. So you just want to trace it out, and then once you get it traced out, you want to cut it out, and you want to cut it just slightly larger than what you've traced. When I cut my mesh, I like to use a rotary cutter. This one I picked up from Dollar Tree. They now carry it in their Crafter Square section, and it works very well. This single cutter I've used on about 10 wreaths so far, and it still cuts like a charm. I use the self-healing mat and then a ruler. The ruler just helps keep the mesh nice and straight and doesn't let it move. You want to go ahead and cut your mesh at 6 inches. So I just line it up with my ruler and my cutting mat. This makes it really easy, and then I can just slide and it holds everything in place, so I get a really nice clean cut. The method that we're going to be using today is called the petal method. To make your petals, you want to grab diagonal corners, and you pull them together like this, and you take one corner, you fold it over the front so that the points meet. Take the other side, fold it over so that you have all the points together. And then you want to scrunch in each side. I kind of roll mine in to hide all those cut ends, so it gets all pinched in, so you look like you have a petal at the top. And you take your pipe cleaner, wrap it around right at the base there, pull it to the back, get it nice and tight, and twist. And that is what your little petal should look like. I'll show you one more time. You take your corners diagonally, you pull them together. And you take one side and you fold it over the front so that the corners meet. Do the same thing to the other side. It looks like that. And then where the cut ends come up, you just kind of roll in or scrunch in those sides. If you get anything weird, just And wrap your pipe cleaner right around the base. I always fold mine over so I can get a nice tight grip and twist. And that's what your petal looks like. And your end should come out the back, which is the flat side. You want the petal part to show in the front. To attach it to the wreath form, you're going to start in the very middle at the bottom. You're going to place the first one here, and then you're going to place one on either side. And you just take your pipe cleaners and you wrap them around the 2 bars. Pull it to the back. Make sure that that's in the middle of that space. And then give it a good twist. And pull that down. Now on the 2 on the corners, once you get them twisted on, you need to take the ends and wrap them around the outside bar and back in on the corner. The reason why is otherwise your little petal there will pull off and then it won't lay correctly. Okay, so you want the center one to be the furthest down and then one on either side. This is what your first row should look like. The center one should be longer than the ones on either side. Now don't worry about these ends. As you move up, you are not going to be able to see them. This is a stacking method. You're going to be stacking on top the other ones and tying down those ends as you go. This wreath on the back is messy, so this would be one if you wanted to cover the back to cover it, and I would use felt. Okay, so you start with a row of all white, and then your next row, you always do the center bar first, and then you do the 2 on the outside. You're going to add 1 purple right in the middle. So it lays like that. And then as you attach the purple, you'll want to pull in the back all those ends from the row below and tie them together. Then you'll do a white and another white. Then you'll do another row of white. And then on the next row, you'll do white in the middle and purple on either side. So you have a solid row of white, and then the next row will have purple and white. The next row will have all white. The next row will have purple and white. And you continue all the way up. Now you'll work this way from the bottom all the way up to the center. Then you turn it around. You start at the top, you work down to the center. And then when you get to the sides here, because this is not as wide as I think it should be for how long the cross is, on the ends here, I'm going to do a different little bundle to extend that length a little bit. And I'll show you that once we work on this area. So I'm going to work on this area and get some done, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So I've been working on my cross. I have just almost 2 sections done. I'd say that's 1.5 sections. I think it looks really pretty. But as you can see, I have a row of white, 1 purple, a row of white, 2 purples, a row of white, 1 purple, a row of white, and 2 purples. I don't want a whole lot of purple on that. I just want it to accent it because of the flowers that I'm putting in the center. So here on the sides, I want to extend this, so we're going to do a little something different on the first row on either end of the sides here. So on this one, you take a same 6x6 piece, grab either corner, give it a little tug, set it down, and then roll it from one corner diagonally to the other. So it looks like that. Then you're going to fold that. And you don't want them to be even. You want one to be longer. The bottom one should be longer than the top one. So it's folded. Take your pipe cleaner, wrap it around that end, pull it nice and tight, and twist. And that's going to help to extend the length on the sides. So the first one, just like before, go ahead and attach it right in the middle. Then you want to go ahead and place one on each side. And there you go. You have the longer ones. This is going to help extend your sides. From this point, you just continue like you did the rest of the way. You make the petals and you place them. Do the same arrangement with the purple and the white. But you always want to start at the end and work your way to the center. When you're done, this small square won't have anything in it. You'll just have a bunch of ends. Because this is layered, you use a lot of petals, so you do have quite a bit of mess on the back. So that's why for this one I do suggest that you cover it, and it's easy to cover with felt. I'm going to go ahead and finish my base. When I come back, we'll attach our florals. I got my base all done. I'm really happy with it. The only thing that I changed was here on the sides. Instead of doing the white really long, I did the purple, and I'm really happy with that. Now, as you can see here in the center, we still have an opening. That's okay. I'm going to put my florals there, but before we move on to that, we need to cover up the back. Now you can see all the mess, so we're going to cover all this up. Take your piece of felt that you cut. You just want to lay that down, get it placed. You want to make sure you push down all of your pipe cleaners and everything is as smooth as you can get it. And then simply run a bead of hot glue right along the edge so you can glue down felt. So get it lined up where you want it. I also added a hanger right here up at the top. I just wrapped it around the two bars in the middle, pulled it up to the top, and made a loop. So that's what I'm going to use to hang it. You want to make sure you attach that before you cover up the back. Get it placed, and then once you have the placement, just add a bead of hot glue along the edge and put your felt down. And then just work your way down, do a small piece at a time until you get the whole back covered. I'm really happy with my cross. I got the back all glued down. Now the felt from Dollar Tree is pretty thin, so if you have a thicker material or a better quality felt, I would go that route. But this will be sufficient for me for right now. Now we're going to work on the center section here and getting this covered up. I'm going to be using some of these beautiful iris that I picked up from Dollar Tree. You get 5 blooms per stem, so you will need 1 stem. I'm also going to be adding a bow, and I'm going to be using this ribbon. I picked this up from the 99-cent store in their Easter section. But anything that has a little bit of purple in there that will go along with the purple in the wreath will work. I just went with a floral because I wanted something neutral. I didn't want to do bunnies or eggs or anything like that. You're also going to need one full-length pipe cleaner. To get started on your bow, you want to make a center loop. And you want to scrunch it together there at the bottom. Make sure that center is big enough to open up. Then you'll want to add another loop on either side, keeping it scrunched there in the center. Now you do need to be aware this ribbon has a good side and a bad side. So you want to make sure your good side is showing. So you have 3 loops. You want to go ahead and add one more loop to each side. So once you have your 4 loops and your center loop, pull out a piece for the tail. I'm going to take that end and loop it up. So you should have 1 large loop for the tails and then 5 loops for your bow. 1 for the center and 2 for either side. Take your pipe cleaner. You want to wrap it around twice. You need this to be really snug. You don't want it to slide out. Get that nice and tight. Twist. The long loop is going to be your tail, so cut that in half. And then you can fluff out your bow and decide how long you want your tail. And that's what your bow should look like. So I'm going to start with placing my bow, and I'm going to glue that right into the center. Now I cut off the long pipe cleaners and then twisted down and folded down the ends. I want to make sure that my bow does not come undone. I'm just going to add a good amount of hot glue on the back here and place my bow. I really love this ribbon. I think it looks so pretty with the purple mesh and the white. Very, very pretty. Next, I'm just going to add some of my blooms around my bow, focusing mainly on the top and the bottom here. Just add some hot glue to your stem. And go ahead and place them. You just want to make sure that your stem is hidden. You can add whatever florals you like. I just really liked these purple iris. I thought they matched rather well with the mesh and the ribbon. Okay, I'm just going to play with that and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. I got my bow and my florals on. I'm really happy with the placement. I think it looks really pretty. I used 4 of the iris blooms. I put 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. I decided not to use any of the leaves. I thought they kind of clashed. And I'm really happy with my result. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and leave me some love in the comments. This really does help support my channel. It lets YouTube know that I have content that's worth watching. Thanks so much for stopping by. You know it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope everyone in your family is staying happy, healthy, and strong. You have a great day, and I will catch you next time.